Hello. In this class, we'll learn about focus of a parabola, focus and directrix. So basically, to start with, this is a diagram of parabola. So parabola is basically a set of points x, y. Okay. It is a path of a point, and we have focus, which is in the interior of the parabola, and a directrix, which is a line. It is outside the parabola, and any point in the focus, any point in the parabola is, or the path of a parabola is a set of the points where each point has the distance of each point to focus. This distance is same as the distance to the directrix. This is a directrix. I'll draw it again. This. Okay. Or I'll Okay, so this is not drawn to the scale, but this is a point P and this is directrix, which is a line. So FP is equal to PD. Okay, so parabola is a set of points X, Y such that their distance from focus is same as the distance of each point to the line directrix. And vertex, when it is vertex, we can see that this distance and this distance. This is a line die. Okay. So FV, or this I can say it is any point K on the directrix. Okay. This line is directrix. So here FV is equal to VK, because vertex is also a point on the parabola. Okay. So this line is directrix. Directrix is a line and focus is a point which is inside the parabola. Okay. So vertex is halfway between focus and directrix. Okay. And the directrix is always, this is the axis of symmetry. We know what axis of symmetry, this is the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry divides the parabola into two equal parts. Each part is a mirror image of another. Okay, so directrix is perpendicular. This line directrix is perpendicular to the axis of symmetry, and focus, it lies on the axis of the symmetry. Okay, so let's do some questions and then it will be more clear. Meantime, I'll just write the summary here. So we can see this is a focus. This is vertex, which is halfway between directrix and focus. This is axis of symmetry. Directrix is perpendicular to axis of symmetry, and focus is lies on the axis of symmetry, and any point here is any point xy is the same distance. So we can say that parabola is a set of points that is equidistant from a fixed point to focus, and to a fixed line. The distance of a point to focus is same as the distance of point to the line, which is directrix. Okay, now let's do some problems. So this is question 25 given, and we can see that axis of symmetry is vertical. And because axis of symmetry is vertical, we will use the equation of a vertical parabola, which is, so this is the equation of a parabola when axis of symmetry is vertical, and h and k are the vertex coordinates here. And focus for the vertical parabola, or the parabola where axis of symmetry is vertical, is h k plus p. Okay, and directrix is y is equal to k minus p. Okay, so we have to find the equation for this parabola here, where vertex we can see is 0, 0 in this case. Okay, so let's find the equation of the parabola. Now, because h and k here are 0, 0, we can see the origin is, I'll do it. Origin is 0, 0. Here, vertex is 0, 0 as shown. This is x coordinate and this is x-axis and y-axis. So we can see here that this is 0, 0. So our equation, this of the vertical parabola, becomes 1 over 4p x square. Okay. Now, let's find the equation of, let's find the value of p, because all we have to know is the value of p. So directrix is k minus p, and in this case it is 0 minus p, because k is 0, so minus p. So y is equal to minus p is equal to minus 8, which is given. So p comes out to be 8. So our equation becomes 1 over 4 times 8 x square. Okay. And so that is y is equal to 1 over 32 x square. This is the equation of a parabola, uh, given parabola. Now, though it is not asked in the question, but we can see that focus here, we know that focus is equidistant from vertex, as the distance between focus and vertex is same as the directrix and vertex. So if this is negative 8, this distance should also, this is 8, this distance. Okay, so the coordinates of the focus would be 0, 8. But we can always find with the equation also here. So this would give us focus, it will be h, which is 0, and k plus p. K is 0 and p we got was 8. So focus we got is 0, 8. Okay, so we got two things. One is focus, which is 0, 8. Okay, because focus is inside the parabola. So this was vertex was 0, 0, and directrix is y is minus 8. So focus has to be 8 units up. So it will be 0, 8. So 0, 8 is the focus, and this is the equation of the parabola given. Okay, so this this was the vertical parabola which opens up. Okay, also we can see here that p is greater than 0. So when p is greater than 0, we got p is equal to 8. So p is greater than 0, then parabola opens up. So it matches our result. Whatever is given to us, it matches our results. Okay, let's do the next question. So in this case, again, we see that axis of symmetry is vertical. Okay, so when axis of symmetry is vertical, then we use the equation. So as the axis of symmetry is vertical, y is equal to 1 over 4p x minus h square plus k. This equation we'll use for the to find the equation of parabola. Here again, the vertex is 0, 0. Okay, so vertex is 0, 0 means h and k are 0, 0. So equation of parabola would be y is equal to 1 over 4p x square. Okay, and so we have to find the value of p. Okay, so p here is, so directrix given is y is equal to 3 by 4 and y is equal to k minus p is the equation of directrix. So p is equal to negative 3 by 4. Okay, if we put in this equation, okay, and we can also see that the distance between the vertex and directrix is 3 by 4. Now focus is inside the parabola, means focus is here. Okay, so if this is 3 by 4, this distance is 3 by 4, it is equal distance, but it is below the vertex. So this would become 0 minus 3 by 4 would be focus. Okay, but we'll get through this equation also. So first let's find the value here. So this is p we got as minus 3 by 4. So let's substitute the value. So this will give 1, 4, negative 3 by 4 x square. So this gives us negative 1 over 3 x square. Okay, so this is our equation of the parabola. Y is equal to negative 1 over 3 x square. Okay, now p we got was negative 3 by 4. Let's find the value focus. So focus here is h is 0, k is 0 plus p. P is negative 3 by 4. So focus we get is 0, comma, negative 3 by 4. This is the focal. Okay. And this is the equation of the parabola. Also, when we see the parabola, we have done in the last class ax square. So if a is negative, parabola opens downward. We can also see p is less than 0. Okay, p is less than 0, then parabola opens down. So our equation is, correct. And this is our focus, 0, negative 3 by 4. Okay, so this parabola opened vertically downwards. This was axis of symmetry was vertical. Now let's do the next question when we'll do the axis of symmetry horizontal. Okay. So this is question 27 given. Vertex is given here, and this is a directrix. X is equal to 5 by 2. So we can see that axis of symmetry here is, axis of symmetry here which divides the parabola, it is horizontal. Okay. So when the axis of symmetry is horizontal, which is this line, okay, then we will use the equation of the parabola as this. So axis of symmetry here, it is horizontal, means it is some value of y is equal to, okay, the axis of symmetry here is y is equal to k. And now the directrix here is, so because vertex here is 0, 0. Okay, it is shown this is x axis and this is y axis. So this is 0, 0. It means h and k both are 0, 0 because vertex is 0, 0. Vertex is at origin. So now our equation becomes y is equal to 1 over 4p, x is equal to 1 over 4p y square. Okay. Now we have to get the value of p. So what we'll do is x is equal to h minus p, which is equal to 0 minus p, which is equal to x is equal to 5 by 2. So p is equal to negative 5 by, okay. So this is our value of p is equal to negative 5 by 2. And okay, so now we'll substitute this value here and get it. So x is equal to 1 over 4p negative 5 over 2 y square. Okay, so this will give us negative 1 over 10 y square. Okay, so x is equal to negative 1 over 10 y square. Okay, so this is our equation of the parabola. And now focuses, we can find it with the diagram also. We see that this distance is 5 by 2. So directrix is to the right of origin or right of vertex 5 by 2. So focus should be here inside and same distance 5 by 2 left from the origin or left from the vertex. So this would give vertex is this. Okay. So this focus here, F focus would be negative 5 by 2 comma 0. Okay. We can find with this equation also. So this is x is h minus p. So sorry, focus is, we can do here h plus p. So p we got was negative 5 by 2. So 0 minus 5 by 2 comma 0. So we got negative 5 by 2 comma 0. Okay, so this is our focus and this is the equation of the parabola. And we can see here that p is negative. So when p is less than 0, parabola opens towards left. Okay, now let's do with a parabola opening towards right. So directrix was already given. But with the value of P and H, if we again put it, it will be 0 minus minus 5 by 2. So it will be x is equal to 5 by 2. It was though already given, but with the value of P, if we find out again, we will find that x is equal to 5 by 2, which is correct. Okay. Now let's do the next question. So in this question, we again see that the vertex is given. This is x and y axis. Okay. So vertex is given as 0, 0. Now we see that axis of symmetry, which divides the parabola into two mm, pa- parts, which are mirror images of each other. This is y is equal to k, and axis of symmetry is horizontal. Okay. So when axis of symmetry is horizontal, we use the parabola equation, which is x is equal to 1 over 4p y minus k square plus h. And focus is h plus p comma k, and directrix is x is equal to h minus p. Okay. So now we see that vertex is 0, 0. So we have to find the value of P. So we know directrix is equal to H minus P. So H is 0 and minus P is equal to negative 2. So P is equal to 2. So this also confirms when P is greater than 0, then the parabola opens right or up. Okay, so this is opening right here, and okay, so P is equal to 2. So now we'll put the value here. So this gives P is equal to, so we'll put value P is equal to 2, and this is y square. Okay, so we get the value 1 by 8 y square. So this is our equation of the parabola, 1 by 8 y square. Okay, now let's find focus. So we see that this distance was 2. Okay, and directrix was to the left of vertex. So focus will be here to the right of vertex, 2 units right. So focus will be here to 0. Okay, but again, if we find with the formula, it will be h, or we can find here h plus p. So h was 0, p is 2, and k is 2. So what we got was correct. Okay, the equation also we see here, it is this, if we compare it with a y square, a is positive, and formula and the parabola opens towards right. Okay, so we have covered the parabola opening up, down, left, and right. So let's do a different type of problem. So this focus and directrix is given. So let's try to see the graph of it and see whether it is horizontal or vertical, and then try to get the equation. So focus is 0, negative 5 by 3. So here, okay, 0, negative 5 by 3. This is focus, and directrix is a line y is equal to 5 by 3. So when directrix is line y is equal to 5 by 3, it means that it has a vertical axis of symmetry. So axis of symmetry here is vertical. Okay, this is because it is always perpendicular to directrix, so it is vertical, and it is like x is equal to h. So when it is vertical, we know the equation here would be 1 y is equal to 1 over 4p x minus h square plus k. Now focus is 0, negative 5 by 3. Okay, and directrix here is 5 by 3. So vertex, we know it is equidistant from focus or midway between focus and directrix. So midway will be 0, 0. Okay, because this is negative 5 by 3 and this is 5 by 3. So 5 by 3 negative 5 by 3 by 2 is 0. So vertex we got is 0, 0. Because vertex is halfway between directrix and focus. Okay, so one is up 5 by 3 and focus is below negative 5 by 3. Okay, so now the equation here would be 1 over 4p x square y is equal to. Okay, and now we have to find the value of p. So so directrix equation is y is equal to k minus p. Now k we got as 0 and negative p we have to get, and this is equal to 5 by 3. So p we will get is negative 5 by 3. Okay, so let's substitute that value. So this will be 4 negative 5 by 3 x square. So this gives negative 3 by 20 x square. So this gives y is equal to negative 3 by 20 x square. Okay. So this is the equation of the parabola. We wanted to know when there was a focus and directrix, we found the vertex, which is halfway between focus and directrix, and then we got because axis of symmetry was vertical, this equation of the parabola would work, and then h and k were 0. So we used this equation. We found out the value of p because directrix was given, and as p is less than 0, we see that the parabola opens downward, and this our parabola will be like this. This will be a okay. So let's do another problem. So the next question we can do is when the equation is given, and let's find focus and directrix. So let me write the question. So this is the question given to us, and we can see that The equation given to us matches when there is a vertical axis of symmetry. Okay, so our parabola would be like this or like this. Okay, and because our p is negative here, p is less than 0, so our graph parabola would be like this. Okay, now let's match this to the uh, equation of the parabola when the axis of symmetry is x is equal to h. Okay, so this has vertical axis of symmetry. So this is has a vertical axis of symmetry, and so these are the equations which this is the equation of parabola. This is focus and directrix. Okay, so we see that if we match to this, we see that -4 is equal to 1 over 4p. Okay, so p is given as -1. Okay, if we see h would be -2 and k is 1. Okay, so vertex here is hk, which is equal to -2, 1. Okay, and now let's find. So if we draw, we can also draw the parabola on the side. So vertex is -2, 1. So it will be here. This is suppose -2 and this is 1. Okay. And axis of symmetry, we can say here is h is equal to -2. X is equal to -2. Okay. So this is the axis of symmetry. I'll draw it with the green color. This is axis of symmetry. X is equal to -2. Okay, this is 1. Now, so this, if I draw, this will be -4, 0. Okay, so this will, parabola will be like this. We can see that P is less than 0, so it opens down. Okay, focus, we can see it is h k plus p. So here it would be in this equation, it would be h, which is -2, and k is 1, and p is -1. So focus we get is -2, 0. Okay, so this is the focus. Okay, I'll write it with another color. So this is focus, -2, 0. Okay, this is focus. And directrix, we know that whatever this distance, it will be the distance from vertex, same distance from vertex up. The focus is 2 units below the vertex, then directrix will be 2 units above the vertex. So directrix is, this was -2 and 1. Okay. So the directrix will be this, this distance is 1, sorry. So directrix will be 1 unit above the vertex. So it would be y is equal to 2. Okay, basically it will be p distance above the vertex. So p was 1, so it will be, or we could use this formula also, y is equal to k minus p. So it would be k was 1, okay, and minus 1. P was, this was k minus p. So p was minus 1. So y is equal to 2. Okay. So P was 1. So this is the vertex which was minus 2, 1, and focus is 1 unit below vertex and directrix is 1 unit above vertex. Okay. So basically it is y is equal to 2 is our directrix. So directrix is y is equal to 2. Focus is -2, 0. Okay. And we have to, if we have to explain its transformation from the basic y, from the basic function or the parent function is y is equal. So question also asks about the transformation taking place here. Okay. So we know the first function, the parent function fx is equal to fx is equal to x square. Okay, so we do the PEMDAS rule, follow the PEMDAS rule as we have done in the last class. So this would be, this first would be, suppose this initial function was fx, then x plus 2. X plus 2 square means translates 2 units left. So that is a function gx. Okay, now after translating 2 units left, we get gx, which is x plus 2 square. The next step is it is multiplied by 1 by 4. So we'd say it is a vertical shrink by factor of 1 by 4. Okay. And our function is 1/4 gx, 1/4 x plus 2 square. Okay, so it is vertical shrink by a factor of 1 by 4. Now next is this negative sign. So we got the function hx here when we multiplied gx to 1 by 4. Now next is this negative sign. It means a reflection over x-axis. So we do is reflection k of x is negative h of x, negative, we multiplied this hx by negative. So negative 1 by 4 x plus 2 square, reflection over x-axis. Now next is this plus 1. So we got kx as this. Now this is, it translates 1 unit up. Okay. So our next one is translates 1 unit. So the transformations taking place here when the parent function is x squared, it moves 2 units left first, then vertical shrink by a factor of 1 by 4, then reflection over x-axis, and then it translates 1 unit up. So please do all the problems from this exercise and please let me know if you have any difficulty and keep practicing. Okay, thanks for joining. See you in the next class.